Good evening, good evening, good evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Thank you very much for joining us today. I'm going to have an exciting session with our very own Kafui Dey in terms of how to unlock your sales potential if you are within the sales or marketing or business development space, or even as an entrepreneur, how you can try as much as possible to get some sales to your business. So good evening one more time. Genevieve here. Thank you so much, Charlene, for joining us. We're just waiting for Kafui to join us. And thanks, Ransford, for joining us. Hopefully, Kafui should be joining us shortly. Thank you, Roma, for joining us. Good evening, good evening. I hope you've had a good week, and hopefully this is a good end this is a good event to end the week. Hopefully we'll learn a lot of, things from Kafui, in terms of, oh, there he is. Kafui just joined. So we're just going to have to wait for him to then request to be live, and then we can start. There we go. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm sure he'll pop up shortly. So good evening, Mr. Day.
Hey, Miss Puni, what's up?
I'm okay. How are
Genevieve?
you?
Ade, I'm good. I think we're
Good.
all in the brown mood today, man.
I
Brown and
know, I
coffee and
know, I know, I know. It's a
earthly
Friday,
things.
isn't it?
Yeah, it be so.
How's your week been?
Very, very long and hectic. There was 3 days of training, which I
Yes,
think you know about.
yes, I
Monday
do.
to Wednesday,
Recruiter.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did my regular TV show Monday to Friday.
Right.
So yeah, I owe sleep. And a good thing today is Friday. Then I put my alarm off and sleep well and wake up late on Saturday. But it's all good. It's all good. For a good cause.
Fantastic. Well, thank
Yeah.
you very much for joining us. And those who are just joining us, thank you very much for joining us for this insightful session. We're just going to really have a quick chat about how to unlock your sales potential if you are within the sales role, or whether you're an entrepreneur, or even if you want to develop yourselves. And, I couldn't help but bringing on our very own Mr. Kafui Dey. We're going to give him an opportunity to briefly tell us a bit about himself. But before we go straight through, I'd like to say a very big thank you for those who have joined us. Happy Friday. Lulu's Food, Azri, Boaheng, Phillips, Charlene, Miss Evie. Thank you so much for joining us. Please feel free to pop in your questions in the chat box. I'll be manning it, and then obviously we can take it from there. So by way of introduction, my name is Genevieve. I'm one of the recruiters at Rec Training Services Limited, which is a 360 HR solutions company, of which training is one of the services that we provide to our clients, both on an individual level and also on a client-to-client level as well. So thank God it's Friday. Kelly, thank you so much. I know we've all had a very good and busy week. So hopefully, we'll have a bit of a light chat here when it comes to the tips on how to unlock your sales potential by being assertive and stuff like that. So, Kafui, I guess I want to give you the platform to briefly tell us a bit about you, and then we can dive
Okay.
into the questions. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much, Genevieve. So once upon a time, I thought I was going to be a lecturer, and then I ended up being a salesman for 17 years in
Wow.
various fields. So it was building maintenance. That was my first job. Then I went into shipping, and then I did media, went back to shipping and logistics, did a bit of shipbroking. And so that was the 17 years of my corporate life was basically as a salesman. And
Mm,
as somebody who works for himself, you're always selling. You're always selling yourself. You're always selling your services. You're always selling your ideas. You're trying to get people to think along your lines. You're trying to persuade them, negotiate to people so that people can come to your side of the bargaining table. So selling is a skill that is essential. Everybody
mm,
needs to know how to sell.
mm,
Everybody needs to know how to sell. And the better you know how to sell, the better you can get stuff for yourself. You can negotiate things that you want. You can leave a negotiating position feeling that you've achieved something, and above all, also not making people feel that you rip them off. So
Mm,
that's the thing about selling well. You should be able
I
to
see.
finish selling and then know that, listen, I got a good deal, the other person got a good deal. So it's win-win. When
Mm-hmm.
it's a win-win thing, everybody wins, and that's what the whole idea of selling should be about. That everybody wins. It's a skill
Fantastic.
that I think we are all, as children, we tend to know how to sell very well, and then we lose it at some point in time. You know,
Mm,
you're too aggressive. You keep asking too many questions. You know, but these are skills that uh, salespeople, good salespeople, want to know what the situation is and get as much information as they can before they can pitch what they are offering. So
mm,
these are skills that we tend to lose as we grow up. But
right.
and children are great natural salespeople. You know, they're
Okay.
natural. I mean, I'm always being sold by my children. They come in, they kind of set you up nicely, and then you agree, and then you realize that the people set you up. You know, no, I've seen children come up to their mommy, mommy, are you my friend? And then mommy says yes. Oh, I like some ice cream. And then you know that setup has made you now you can't deny the person your ice cream because who denies their friend good things, you
Yes,
know? So
exactly.
there are ways of selling that make it a win-win for everybody. And I'm
Mm,
looking forward to this particular training, which will happen
right. On the
soon.
28th.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here. You're always
Fantastic.
selling. Remember it. Even if you don't have the title salesperson or sales executive or saleswoman or salesman, you are selling. Anytime you're trying
Mm,
to get someone to come to your point of view, you are
mm,
selling. Anytime
right.
you're trying to convince somebody, you are selling. If you're making a presentation, you are trying to sell them to your ideas.
Mm,
If you're bargaining, if you're selling something, you of course, obviously, you are selling. So everybody's selling at every time. You know,
mm,
at every time.
mm, mm.
Mm.
So where does the assertiveness comes in when it comes to selling then? What is it all about?
Well, if you're not assertive, the moment you give your price, say I want to sell it for 100, and the person says, "Oh, I can only afford 20," and then you are
Mm-hmm.
afraid that you lose a sale, then you give it to them for 20. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
the person was just trying to get maybe the person was trying to get to maybe 50 or 60, but they knew that you want to start very low if you're buying, and of course
Mm,
the people who are selling want to sell very high, and then
mm-hmm.
you give it to them, and then the person will go out thinking, "Oh, I should have asked for 10 because the way the person she gave up so easily or gave in too easily to me, I probably should have asked for
Exactly.
10. I would probably have gotten 10,
Yeah.
instead of the 20, which was a good deal anyway,
Yeah.
So you've got to stand your ground, be able to um, tout the good points of your product, and even ask questions. I mean, why do you want to pay 20 CDs for something that is going for 100 CDs? I'm just curious,
Mm-hmm.
And they may tell
Mm-hmm.
you that, oh, I don't have a budget, which is the most common excuse for not buying something at top dollar or top CD or top pound or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. To
Mm-hmm.
which there are so many responses. You can say, okay, well, how about if I come up with a payment plan for you? So instead of you paying the 100 right now, we can spread the 100 over 4 months. So it
Mm,
becomes 25, 25, 25. The person who wanted to get a discount from you may end up agreeing to the 100 CDs spread out over 4 months because
right.
then it works up to 25 CDs. Yeah, it
Mm,
works up to 25 CDs a month. And
mm,
so you've still kept your price, but you've spread it over, or give me a discount, or give me a deposit of 50 CDs, and we spread the rest over a month
right.
or two. There are so many creative ways of touching your price because, of course, if you are a commissioned salesperson, if you touch your price, then touching your commissions as well. You understand? So you
Mm,
don't want to touch your
mm,
price as much as possible. So that's where assertiveness comes in.
right.
Don't get scared when somebody asks for a discount. You think, hey, if I don't give them the discount, I'll lose the job. You know, just be calm. They have every right to ask for a discount, and you also have every right to inquire further. May I know why
Mm,
you want a discount? And they'll tell
mm,
you, oh, I don't have money now, or I think it's too expensive compared to so and so. And then, okay, so what does the other person offer you? And it turns out that maybe your offering has more benefits than the one that they are comparing you to. So in
mhm,
actual fact, if you pay more for mine, you get more for the
mm,
product instead of paying less and getting less.
mm,
So it's assertiveness is about knowing what you want
mhm.
and saying it without being aggressive or being passive.
So
And those
you've
are
got to
skills that
strike
every
it in the
salesperson needs.
balance. You've got to have a balance between the two, sort of remain in the
Yes,
middle. Okay.
yes, you don't want
Okay.
to be overly aggressive and you don't want to be overly passive. Yeah.
Mm,
So
mm.
that's how assertiveness will help as a salesperson.
Right. Okay. But I mean, in terms of me as an example, I have a very high
Mhm.
pitched voice. And sometimes when I
Yes.
speak, people think that I'm talking
Mhm.
aggressively. But for somebody who is probably listening, who is not in a sales role, who is probably in a sales role, wants to develop and naturally has a high pitched tone voice and trying to, as you rightly said, every day we're selling in different ways. How can we
Yes.
try to make sure that we're not coming across as we're being aggressive, even though I have a very high pitched tone voice naturally?
Yes. Okay. All right. One good way to deal with it, and by the way, I think your voice sounds great. I mean, for me, it doesn't sound high pitched. You
Really?
sound, yeah, you don't sound high pitched to me. I don't know how it's coming out of your ears, but for me, it doesn't sound high pitched. It's just
Yeah.
warm and friendly. Yeah.
Okay.
So the thing if you don't want to sound aggressive, you see, a lot of times people, when you say no to them, then it's like you're pushing back. So somebody says, "Oh, your product is too expensive." That's what they feel in their mind is expensive. So you don't want to go about disagreeing that, it's not expensive. You are lying. If you say something like that, so you're going to rub the person the wrong way. So yes, the person has every right to believe that your product is maybe expensive. So you can say something on the lines of, "Well, you're right. You believe that my product is expensive, too expensive. But here's what you get from my product," and then you talk about what you want. So I agree with people as much as possible. I agree with them because listen, everybody believes that what they are saying is right. Even if you think it's blatantly wrong, in their mind it is right.
Right.
So, well, I agree that you feel that this is so. Okay, yes, but how about we look at it from this point of view? Then you
Right.
bring them over to your okay. Yeah, so I agree with them. They say, "Oh, your product is expensive." I've had a lot of times people, when I mention my charge, my fee, they say, "Hey, but you're expensive, oh." And the first thing I say is, "Yes, I do agree with you. I agree that I am expensive, and I would rather be thought of being as too expensive than being too cheap. So I do agree I'm expensive."
Oh, Kafui, are you there? Or we lost you for a minute? Can you hear me? Thank you very much, everybody. Oh, there you are.
Discount, and then asked for you to pay my fee upfront, then yes, I would have given you a discount, but then my fee would have come to me earlier, and there's nothing like getting paid early.
Right.
It's a nice feeling if you're getting paid. You want to get it paid early. So aggressiveness, as much as possible, agree with them and then switch over to what you have. Also, you can also slow down. You can slow down, and you don't want to be seen as pushing back too much. But I find that when you deliberately just try and keep your tone measured and you don't want to speed up too much, you tend to come off as somebody who is more confident, more assured, and more relaxed and in charge, and you not come off as aggressive. Of course, if you think and if you find out that your voice is high pitched, you can get education, you can get training. The former Prime Minister of the UK, when she started out her political career, she used to have a really high pitched voice. But she managed to bring it down with
Okay.
training. You understand? Yeah. So it's
Okay.
possible. You can do that as well. A lot
I
of
see.
politicians do that. They take those kind of voice
Right.
training. Yeah, you can.
Great. I seem
So
to have
that you
lost.
sound more assertive. So that you sound more assertive, and that's what you want, really. You want to sound assertive, not overly aggressive, not overly passive, but just assertive. Being able to say what you want or what you don't want in a way that is not aggressive or passive.
I see. Thank you very much for that. And for those who've just joined us, Kafui, I think for some reason I can't see you properly. I'm not sure what is going on with the internet, but I can still hear
Can you hear
you
me?
though. I just can't see you properly.
Okay, all right.
It's just frozen a bit,
Okay,
but
but you can hear me, right? You can hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear
Definitely
me?
can hear you. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So thank you very much for that. And for those who've just joined us, Wampo for Crystal Kra, Mr. Pratt, Mamsa Official, we're just talking about the keys to unlocking your sales potential. It looks like some people can't hear you, Kafui. I'm not sure whether it's
Can you
the
hear me now?
environment.
Can you hear me now? So
We can hear you,
let me
but
log out
you're
and come back in. Let me log
um
out and come back in. Let me log
okay.
out and come back in. Okay.
Let's try and see that.
Let me
Okay,
leave and
so
come
I'll
back,
wait for
and
you.
let's see how that works. Okay. So I'm gonna
Great.
leave and come back. I'm not going. No, I'm just leaving and coming back right now. All right.
Okay. No problem at all. Okay, so if you've been joining us and listening, I think Kafui is going to join us. Technology, sometimes you can't control it. But ex Blondie Blay, thanks for joining us. I Kelly, Kafui is going to join us shortly, so please don't go away. Okay, I'm just adding him now. Hopefully, we've picked one or two things that we've been able to pick up on there. So he talked about, being assertive every day. Oh, there we go. We can see you now. Fantastic. Can you hear me? Great
I can hear
stuff.
you loud and clear.
Thank you very much. Okay, so you talked a bit about, having choices, using the right phrases when it comes to being assertive, when it comes to selling in an everyday life. We sell basically to try and get things through, not necessarily selling every product, but even in our conversations with our family members and wanting someone to do something for you is all about selling and coming to some sort of agreement. Would you say
Yes.
assertiveness comes with confidence and knowing everything that you should know everything about what you're talking about? Then obviously the confidence then will project. So would you say confidence is linking it to assertiveness?
Yes, 100%. Confidence is tied to you knowing what you're talking about. So
Mm,
if you ask me to go and talk to a bunch of accounting students about principles of accounting, I wouldn't go there because I don't know anything about accounting. All right.
right.
And I would be nervous, I would be worried about question time and everything. So I wouldn't go there. So I speak about things I know. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
speak about things you know, it makes you so if you're a salesperson, you want to know your product. So that if the person asks you what are the features of your product? What are the
Mm-hmm.
benefits of your product? What can your product do? What can your product not do? You should be able to know all these things. How much does it cost? How much does it weigh? How long does it take for me to deliver it? How soon can I get it? You must know your product literature 100%. So that's all the technical stuff. You have no excuse not to know the technical stuff. You must know your stuff. Know your stuff. It's easier for you to counter any objections that may arise. Okay, so it's
Mm,
important. You must know your stuff. I remember when I was started as a salesman, I spent the first 6 months just knowing my product. Knowing my product. I was working with a
mm,
shipping company, so I was packed off to Takrady to go and learn about shipping. So I went to the port. I saw the ships being loaded with the containers of the products and everything. I went to the documentation area and looked at how the documents were prepared, the bills of lading. I had a 360-degree view of the entire shipping process from the time somebody brings in their request for a container load of timber to be sent to wherever. I had to know everything because I was a salesperson. Before
mm-hmm.
I went and spoke to importers and exporters, I needed to know, for example, if they tell me, how long does it take for a ship to leave New York and get to Tema? I should know that it's 14 days. I should
Right.
know. I should know. So this is my stuff. So you should know your stuff. And your knowledge of your stuff gives you confidence. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed Azuma Nelson recently, and he's
Mm.
now a coach. He's coaching the next generation of boxers. And just
Oh,
listening to
wow.
him, talking to him, yeah, listen to him talk about boxing, you realize that this man knows his boxing stuff. So he
Mm-hmm.
knows it because he did it and he's now teaching it. And so he knows it,
Mm.
So you know your stuff. It helps you to be confident, it helps you to be assertive.
Mm, mm. And when it comes to presentations, whether it's presenting your business to someone to potentially, buy a product or service from you, or even trying to convince someone, as you said, assertively to try and get things done. In terms of packaging, how important is it when it comes
Packaging
to, yes.
packaging your presentation on yourself.
Yes, yourself, your presentation, because obviously it's all
Yeah,
linked to being assertive. Because
yeah,
sometimes when
okay.
you prepare
Yeah.
very well, it comes in quite handy.
Yes. So the training that I did it at Kempinski this week, Monday to
Mm,
Wednesday. I remember, over the weekend, last weekend, I called and asked you, listen, what's the dress code for
mm,
these people we're going to talk to? Because
mm,
Kempinski is a 5-star luxury hotel. They see themselves
exactly.
as the number one hotel in Ghana. They are a luxury brand, worldwide. I wanted to know how to even dress to come there and present my message to them without any dissonance. So, and they said, and you came back to me and said, suit. And I said, hey, I haven't worn a suit in months or probably even a year. But hey, because of this job, I'm going to wear a suit. So I got my suit
Right,
out and I wore my suit back to back to back to back. And I was pleasantly surprised when during one of the coffee breaks, somebody came up to me and started speaking to me as if I was a Kempinski person, which
right.
which meant that I had identified. So as much as possible, your packaging has to be right so that you identify with them. If you are someone who is selling high-end products and services, you don't want to look like a hustler. Okay, you must look like you are able to buy whatever you are selling. Okay, if you are selling to, for example, I remember when I was a salesman, I had to go to Swami Magazine in Kumasi to go and sell some import services to the people. And these importers in Kumasi, they import secondhand clothing, secondhand fridges, cars from Korea. The first day I went there, I went there in my tie, white shirt, tie, long sleeves, dark trousers. And I said, I'm looking for Kowu's Enterprise. So your name, we don't know. We don't know. Why? Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wanted to speak to me. Later on, I found out that they thought I was from GRA because of the way I was dressed.
Oh, I see.
Yes. So nobody wanted to give me any information. So the next day, I went there. I took off my tie. I rolled my sleeves, and I walked into the shop, into the place, looking like a regular person. And I got um, um, more engagement with the people. They were more willing
Mm-hmm.
to talk to me, okay,
Mm-hmm.
because I looked a bit like them. So yeah, you've got to know your stuff, know the terrain. Your packaging is very important.
Mm-hmm.
You want? I heard that if you want to go for a loan from a bank, you want to sell your need for a loan to a banker, you must go to the bank looking like you don't even need the loan. So you've got to look really sharp.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
If you go there trying to get pity and looking like a hustler, they say, no, if you give this guy the money, he won't, you're not going to pay the money. So you've got to look like you don't need it. And then they have confidence in you that because the bank wants you to pay back your money. So you've got to look
Mm-hmm.
like somebody who can pay back. They're not interested in the loan per se, but the fact that when you pay back, you're paying back with interest. So you need to look like somebody who can pay back that money with interest. You don't need to look. You don't need to look like you're going to run away the moment they give you that money. So yeah. So packaging is 100% important. You know,
Fantastic. Great.
100%
So
important. Yeah, and
So
it helps.
it looks like assertiveness is quite important when it comes to, the day-to-day stuff and also unlocking the sales potentials to be able to achieve your target if you're within
Yes.
that area. But sometimes being assertive also sometimes comes with being afraid. How
Yes.
how can one overcome the fear of, speaking in public, the fear of, maybe talking back and feeling that, okay, I'm going to get told off and all the other things. How can one overcome the fear of that?
Yes, by practice. So practicing means trying to simulate the conditions that you will experience when it's game time. You know,
Mhm.
all the footballers, all the tennis players, all the top athletes, even the top salesmen that we admire, they do a lot of practice before they actually go do the real thing. So
Right.
practice is really part of being a professional. So if you want to be a better public speaker, you need to practice, but practice the right way. For example, you want to practice in front of an audience. So you have a talk of to maybe 100 people. You don't need 100 people to.
Kafui, are you there? We seem to have lost Kafui. Hopefully we'll get him back. I do apologize. I think it's technology. But we were talking about how to overcome fear. Oh, there
Yes,
you go.
to practice your presentation in front of people, so that you can actually.
Kafui, can you hear us? I think we've lost Kafui. Yes, we can hear you now. Yes,
Yes.
we can hear
So
you now.
so you've got to practice. You practice. If it's you making your presentation, your sales presentation, practice. Get into the mood of, okay. So I'm a difficult customer who is very angry with my services. So and I did that at the
Mm,
training I think on Tuesday where I had to push, and then we try to get the manager to come back to me and try to negotiate the
yeah.
situation. So try and model the situations that you are most afraid of. Once you practice them over and over and over. And you record your practice sessions so you can
Mm,
actually see how you perform. And then you
mm,
can give yourself feedback. And with practice, when you get into the real situation, it's going to be better than you not practicing at all. So I
yeah.
think practicing what you do, what you are afraid of, practice it. Okay, if you're afraid of uh, not doing well in an interview situation, uh, find out what the most common questions are in an interview situation, and let somebody play the role of the interviewer, and you become the interviewee. And let them
Mm,
pose that question. Let them be hard on you. Record
mm,
the session so you can play back and watch. Okay.
mm,
So practice,
mm.
practice, practice is the way to go to beat fear.
Fantastic. So, Efia, thank you, Kafu. Efia, thank you for joining us. Lena, Amaval Sewing, CF Kujo, Multi-Tito Official, Ajete Freme, says yes to some of the pointers that you were mentioning. Somebody also said they miss you on, I think it was a show. One of
Who's
your
Lorraine?
old shows, yes.
One of my
And
old shows. I'm on
yes,
GTV
one
now.
of
Let me plug GTV. I'm on GTV
on
now. Come to
GTV
GTV.
now. Yes, exactly. So please feel free to ask all your questions. We're talking about the keys to unlocking, your sales potential, which is on the day-to-day life. You don't necessarily have to be within the sales environment or sales career in order for you to be assertive. Kafui has gone through the power of being confident, the power of making sure that you package yourself well when it comes to being assertive or being able to put your point across without coming across as being aggressive or being too passive. So you've got to find a balance between the two. So thank you so much. Please pop your questions in the chat box, then we can ask Kafui as we're going along. Gideon, thanks for joining us, and Fortune as well. So, Kafui, I watched one of your videos, which I thought was very funny. It was one of the videos where I think you must have asked somebody to do something, and then they queried or they sort of challenged you, like, "Oh, do you know how old I am?" And then I think
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
jokingly
yeah.
said, "If that makes funny." I think
Yeah.
it's
Okay, so for those who didn't see, let me just recap the situation. So I was
yeah.
a wedding MC a couple of weeks ago, and just when I was doing my introduction to bring the couple in for their reception, the guy at the sound desk, the engineer, started doing his 1 2 1 2 testing. You know how sound people are doing this testing 1 1 2 1 2. At just the time when I was doing my introduction, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Let's welcome Nanaya, and then the guy starts doing testing. And I just lowered the microphone and said, "Can you stop talking in my introduction? I just don't do that." The guy says, "You know who I am? I'm the sound engineer. Listen, who are you? You think I'm a small boy? I'm 50 years old." And I said, "Hey, listen, it's not about age, but if it's age, I'm actually 51. All right? 51. The guy was like, "Oh, okay." And that kind of shut him up for a while. I finished my introduction, and then after I went back and made peace with him because I needed
Right.
him to give me good sound anyway. But at that
So
moment,
that
I had to. So sometimes you can use humor. You can use
mhm,
humor, and you can just be quick-witted. In the end, you want people to be on your side, but sometimes you have to tell people where they're going wrong, and that's part of being assertive. You
assertive.
have to tell people, this is not on. I don't like the way you are doing this. What you are doing right now makes me feel this way, or what you're
Mhm,
doing is not helping what I am doing. So if you
mhm,
don't mind, let me finish
mhm,
my stuff, and we can do that later. Yes. So,
mhm.
but in the end, I wouldn't say best of buddies, but at least we got all together, and he gave me good sound. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Fantastic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for somebody who is in a sales role at the moment, or whether in a business development role, whether they're trying to obviously try and figure out how to develop themselves to become assertive, with the year coming to an end, I think we've tied in very well with running the assertive training on the 28th of October, which is Friday at the Airport View Hotel.
Before we start.
What are the couple of tips for success for them in terms of what they would gain from coming from this particular training session? And if there are any other tips that you would want to share with them, especially because the year is coming around, I'm sure a lot of people are getting a bit anxious. Am I going to achieve my target? Have I done my thing together? Have I been able to achieve my targets and stuff? How beneficial would this training help them?
Well, so I like the title of the training. It's keys to unlocking your sales potential, assertive skills. So there are keys that can unlock certain doors. If you have a door and you don't have the key to it, yes, that's the door. But if you don't have, you can't get in and find out what is inside. And training is a key to unlocking the potential that you have. If you
Mm,
know something, you're able to have like hacks and tips and tricks that can help you to get to your destination quicker. And assertiveness is a big deal, and it helps you not only in your sales career but in life as well. You know, if you are that person who is finds it very hard to say no, you are always taking on extra responsibility because.
Oh, I think we may have lost Kafui again. Hopefully he will join us, and then we'll just be able to carry through. We're just talking about, how some of the tips to unlock it. Mhm.
Yeah. So these tips, being assertive will help. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Can you
hear
hear?
you.
Yes. So being assertive will help you to even know how to say no and not feel bad about it. Okay.
Mm, mm. Can you hear me, Kafui? Looks like
Get to your site. But Instagram is like when you're on Instagram on your phone, then people keep calling you because they don't know that you are on Instagram. But I'm cutting them off so that I can talk to
It's
you.
okay.
All right. Yeah. So these are skills. These are life skills.
Hopefully, we won't get too much interactions, and we'll be
Life skills that you can use wherever. Makes you more confident, more able to get what you want, and know how to say no, how to be less aggressive. If you're the aggressive person, we'll show you how to be less aggressive. Because people tend not to like people who are aggressive. So if you're very aggressive,
right.
you get what you want, but you realize people don't want to come near you. Okay? Yeah. So
Exactly.
and if you're overly passive too, you will resent people because they'll be dumping stuff on you. You don't know how to say no. You want to please people all the time, and it's not be good for your own mental health and your own just your well-being. So all these tips, we're going to show you how to deal with difficult customers, how to deal with people who always want discounts, attacking your commissions. That's a threat to your commission, and you don't want your commission to be frittered away, especially when the year is coming to an end. So all these tips and more you will find on the 28th of October, and Jenny will tell you exactly how you can get to be part of this particular training in 4 weeks' time.
Right. So it's pretty much for anybody. And not necessarily only salespeople. Sorry.
No, we
Not
are all
necessarily
salespeople.
only
So once you
salespeople.
sign up, you are a
Yes,
salesperson. We are all salespeople. You may not have it on your business
exactly.
card, but we are all salespeople. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I think, to wrap it up, thank you so much, Kafui, for your time. I'm just looking through the chat box to see if there are any questions.
Somebody's
Somebody
asking about
says,
grooming. Yes, we teach
yes,
you. Yeah, grooming is important. Grooming is important. How you present yourself. Grooming is
exactly.
just how you present yourself. Present yourself in such a way that people will respect you. You know,
Exactly.
and I know this as an MC. As an MC, if they tell me, "Oh, smart casual," I still come looking a bit sharper than because it's easy for you
Yes.
to dress down than for you to dress up at the spur of the moment. So it's better to look
Exactly.
well put together and you can always dress down than to now have to dress up. You don't have a jacket. You come in there just in shirt sleeves and a tie, and everybody's wearing a jacket. How do you dress up? But if you're
Yeah,
all dressed the nines and you have to dress down, it's easier. So grooming is important.
exactly.
Confidence, voice, public speaking skills is part of assertiveness. How to ask for what you want, how to say no, how to
Mm,
get into
mm,
win-win situations. Yes, how to use humor to deflate very tense situations. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So
Exactly.
all these tips we found out. If you go to the Rec Train Facebook page and Instagram, you'll see those short videos. Go watch them. How do
Yes.
people sign up,
I,
Jenny?
So people can sign up. One of my colleagues, Jonathan or Ransford, would put in the chat box. There's a link on how you can register. You can also call us on 054 011 5588 so that you can make more inquiries and join us on
Again,
the
the number
28th.
again.
And guess what? The
The
number
number again.
again is 054011 5588. And
Good.
it's going to be on the 28th of October at the Airport View Hotel at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's also an early bird discount of 100 cedis if you want to join. So instead of paying 950, you pay 850 cedis for the next week. So please do make sure that you sign up, and we look forward to you joining us as much as joining us on that day to learn a bit about being assertive and using it for your everyday to-day life. So Kelly wanted to find out if confidence is tied to knowledge. I think she wanted to reconfirm if that is what you said, Kafui.
It is. It
That
is. Big time.
confidence is tied to knowledge. Okay.
100%. If you know how to do something, you can talk about it. You can demonstrate to people how you can do it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a type of knowledge. The more knowledge you know, the more confident you'll be. The
Right.
more knowledge you have, the more confident you'll be. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. So it looks like there aren't any questions
There
as
is
of
one.
yet.
One just came in. One just
Oh,
came
what
in.
just came in? Great stuff. I'm
Yes.
just
It's
okay.
about
So it
humor.
says,
It's about humor.
yes.
It's
What if
about.
you try
It's,
using humor and the person doesn't get the humor? What's the best way out?
well, you're not using the humor and looking for laughs. You're not a comedian. So you use your stuff. Then you see, we like the what ifs. Try it and see. If it doesn't work, let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be 100% ready. Use the tips. Of course, if it doesn't work out the way you want, observe it carefully and see what you can do. Get feedback from yourself. Okay, you finish, it didn't work. Ask yourself, hey, what did I like about this situation?
Mm.
What
Mm.
should I have done better next time? Okay.
Right.
Don't wait till you're 100% ready. My policy is if you're more than 50% ready, go for it. You can't get
Right.
100% situation. Nothing is 100%. Nothing is
Right.
100%. So instead of what if it doesn't work, what if it works? What
Yes.
if it works? What if you use a
Exactly.
human and it works? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's look at the positive side of how things will work out. Yeah. Yeah. What if it works?
Yeah.
That's my attitude when I go into stuff. I go into
Mm-hmm.
in situations thinking, hey, this could work.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of thinking this may not work. Because if you say
Mm-hmm.
does not work, then you're putting a dampener on your own energy and your own vim. So you go
Yeah.
in there thinking, hey, what if it works? And confidence and a good the just the good humor and a positive mentality are infectious. So are negative mentalities also. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I would rather have
Mm-hmm.
a positive mentality and infect people with my positive mentality rather
Mm.
than thinking, hey, this could go wrong. This could go belly up. No, 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 no. What if it goes right? Okay. What if it goes right? And if it goes wrong, you have another chance to make it go right. So nothing's spoiled.
Exactly. Exactly. Great stuff. That's a lot of information for us, Kafui. I think there aren't any questions. So I
Yeah.
know
Mhm.
obviously it's Friday night. Most people are tired. Some people are probably on the church or going home. Some people are driving home.
My old
But
school
I
joint,
want
my old school joint, or Achimota school joint. Hello, Motown. What's up? My
Kelly,
old
hi,
school joint.
Kelly says thank you very much. So hopefully you answered
Yeah.
her question. But yeah,
Yes.
so Kapui, thank you so much. We're looking forward to you sharing lots of nuggets on Friday, the
Yep.
28th of October at the Airport View
Indeed.
Hotel. So
Mm-hmm.
please join us. We've put the link of how to sign up to Kafui's session on the 28th. Join us, take advantage of the early bird discount. And we look forward to seeing that there's a lot of activities, a lot of role plays, a lot of real life scenarios that we're going to be walking through on that day. Um, if I have
Hi,
any
Kelly
more
wants to know.
questions,
Yeah, of
yes,
course.
of
Rec
course,
train.
you can
Send it to
send
Rec
us.
train to me.
You can send it
To
to
me.
RecTrain into our direct DM, and then we'll send it to him to
Yeah.
answer the question for you. But important, we want to see you at the event on the 28th of
Mm-hmm.
October, Friday the 28th. So, Kafui, thank you so much for
Hey.
your time,
All right,
and
Jenny.
we will see you on the 28th.
God willing. Thank you so
All
much. Have
right.
a good weekend.
And to you.
Bye bye,
Thank you
everybody.
so much. Bye bye. Thank you so much
Bye,
for
everybody.
everybody who joined. Thank you very
Yeah,
much and
bye.
have a good weekend. Take care.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Cheers. Bye now.
Bye. Bye. Mm.